We are excited to share with you today some ideas for app smashing with Seesaw. I'm Haley Stamey, Digital Learning Facilitator for the Irwin District.
And I'm Janet Frazier. I'm the Digital Learning Facilitator in the Inca District.
So we're going to go through a couple apps that work well with Seesaw, and hopefully you'll learn something new today. Possibly some of these apps might already be familiar with you. If you have a few minutes, pause the video and go ahead and download these 4 apps from the app catalog. They're Pics Kids, Doodle, iMotion, and Popplet. All right, so what is app smashing? And just some ideas and things that we came up with. App smashing is being able to combine different things together, different apps together to create a creation. Interactive, engaging for our kids, and sometimes you can even smash an app into another app. So we're going to show you 4 ideas for this today. We hope that you take the time to pause the video, download the app, and try it as you go. So the first app that we're going to look at that you may have seen before is Pics Kids. And Pics Kids allows kids to take anything and kind of bring it to life. So they're able to upload a picture from their camera roll that they might have taken of a friend, or snap a new picture of the title of their book. They can go online and find pictures that go along with the story they're reading. And they're able to use the app to record themselves and then save and upload it into Seesaw. So let's go ahead and show one of these ideas. And then we'll give you some time to kind of explore Pics. And Janet's going to demonstrate that on her iPad. So the finished product in Pics would look something like this. So this was artwork where students were measuring themselves. They took a picture of it, and then they talk about themselves using the fun little mouth where they can record.
I am Madeline. Today is 9. I am 15 inches tall. And my hands are 5 inches long.
So this teacher had tied this to a math unit and partnered with the art teacher, put it into Pics. Now, this was from a couple years ago, so at the time, Pics was just kind of a standalone project. We could create a QR code or, show it to people in the hallways. But with Seesaw now, we can save this Pics and app smash it into Seesaw, and then it can be shared with the class and parents at home. So I'm going to let Janet open up Pics, and we're going to kind of show you how that app works. Make sure if you do download this that it's the Pics Kids. So when Janet opens up the app, it's going to do the fun little song. You're then able to have 2 choices. So you can take a photo. This could be of a student artwork, people around the building, pictures of their books, or they can import something that they've already saved from their gallery. So Janet's going to choose take a photo. The first time they use the app, they do have some permissions to allow. She's actually, hold it real still, Janet. Nice. There we go. So after the picture, you then have the ability to draw the little mouth across wherever you want the talking to happen. So she's drawing in her mouth, and then she has the ability to record what this image needs to say.
Record in.
It'll count down.
2, 1, go.
How do you like my shirt? I have Peppa Pig on my shirt.
Then they can listen to it.
Or not.
And I think it's with they have the ability to add some filters and fun images on the picture. There we go. And at the very top is the next. Then they have the ability to possibly listen to it. I'll let you hear. And I think it might be with a screen sharing. We lose some
Because
sound.
I'm in Zoom, yes.
Hit the bottom right corner, the little export. There we go. And it's going to send it to our camera roll. And then from our camera roll, we can upload that into Seesaw.
Now, let's see.
Upload. Post to their work. Here we go. And it's at the bottom. Green check. If we wanted them inside Seesaw to add a caption or draw additional details on the side, they could. And then in the top right corner is, of course, the green check. And then hopefully they would choose their own work. And possibly a folder if we have that set up. And then it's for everyone to see. Mom and Dad can see it at home. And they have successfully Appsmashed Chatterpix into Seesaw.
Our next tool is called UDoodle. And UDoodle is a fantastic, basically a meme creator. You could use it for other types of creation, like captioning a picture, but specifically if you think about it for memes, and of course little ones are going to have to know what a meme is, so that would give you a good discussion point there. But to use UDoodle, you would download the application, then you would open it to import a picture. And you can import a picture 3 different ways. You could upload it from the camera roll. So if you have a picture that you have taken on your camera or on your iPad, you could upload it directly from there. You could snap a new picture from directly inside the app, or you could find one online. And so what we would select is File, and then Draw on top of a photo, and then either pick it from the camera roll or take one there. If you needed an online pic, I did put the list of the steps that you would include for that. And students would obviously need to be walked through this the first time, but you would take the students to Google and then click OK, and then search for what you want them to look for. They would search for it. And this is where I would highly recommend letting students know exactly what it is that they're looking for. So if they're looking for a surprised look, that's what you might see on the little cat down at the lower right-hand side, a shocked cat. Or if it was a small child, you know, you would direct them as to what it is that they're looking for. If your book is about bears, you might suggest that they look for a cartoon bear. So whatever picture that it is that they're going to be looking for, I would guide them with that. When you find the picture, you'll have to click it a couple of times to actually get it to become that full-size photo. And when it becomes the full-size photo on their iPad, not necessarily meaning it takes up their whole iPad, but the actual picture on the website, then if you touch it, you're able to hold it and select Save to Photos, and it will save it to your camera roll so that then you're able to use it in the app. So then you would go back to File, Draw on top of a photo, and then select it from your camera roll. After you select the photo that you want to edit, you would use the tools to edit it, just like I've done. And what I did, and basically the reason that I like this is because you can keep it simple, especially for little ones, but to be able to create that catchy meme caption that you might put on there. Then when you get it created, save it as a JPEG and upload it into Seesaw. And so it's easy to pull it directly in, just like we did on the last one. But there are a lot of ideas that are helpful for this: summarizing a story, illustrating a point, showing a character's point of view within a story, or maybe even using a picture in a catchy way to share a fact, or to even give an answer to a question that you might present to your students. So a lot of fun and just an easy way to share with your students and for them to share back with you. All right, so should we try this one as well?
I think we should try.
All right. And here we go. We are going to find the UDoodle application and click on it. And it's going to try to sell it to you, and we are not going to purchase it. So I'm going to go to File at the top right, and I'm going to import a picture. Now, I would either have that picture saved from online, or I could pull it in from my camera roll. So if I select Draw on top of a photo, I could go to the Google or Bing to search for one. I'm going to click on Camera Roll. And we are going to actually pull in the same picture that we just used on the last one, just so that we have that continuity. I'm going to select Done at the top right. And then our tool is, the icon for the tools is near the top left, and it is this little icon here. When I click on this, we're going to use the text icon, and it's going to pull up whatever text that I did last. So I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to decide what I want this to say. And so all right, so maybe we want it to say, I love my mom. And maybe we want it in red so that it shows up. I'm going to resize this and move it up where it shows. And then I'm going to click Done at the bottom, which you may not be able to see on this recording, but Done is right at the bottom. And then when it says, are you done? I'm going to select yes. And so now I have my picture completed. I'm again going to go to File, and then I'm going to click Save As, and then I'm going to click JPEG and put it into my camera roll. And now I'm done. And when I select, and if anytime it tries to sell it, I simply press cancel. But now when I go to my camera roll, it should appear as my last picture, the one that I just finished with. And so that is where I would upload it to Seesaw from.
So if you want, take a few minutes, pause the video, and check out UDoodle. All right. The next app that we're going to talk a little bit about is iMotion. So iMotion looks like this. It's very easily confused with iMovie, but iMotion is a little bit different. And iMotion, there's a couple different options, and we'll show you these in just a few minutes. So you have the option for it to automatically take pictures, or you have an option for kind of that manual pictures. And we're going to talk about the difference in those two. If we are working on a project where we want to kind of get a time-lapse video of a butterfly hatching from from the cocoon, and we wanted to take a picture every minute, we could set this app up on a stand, walk away, and it would take pictures for the next 3 or 4 hours or however long we set it. The other option is kind of a manual setting. And in this manual setting, you have the ability to snap a picture when you're ready. So I like to think of it as the Gumby effect. You think of claymation a lot of times when you do it in this manual setting. So I do want to show one example. I have it linked down here. I forgot to put it up top, of kind of what the final product looks like, and then show you the app itself and kind of how we can come to create a project like this. So this was a 2nd grade class, Spookly the Square Pumpkin. I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but you can see he's the sad pumpkin in the middle. Each kid, so this was a whole class project where each kid designed their own pumpkin. The teacher made Spookly, they talked about the setting, and then they were able to do this. So you could go back and even smash this again and narrate it, but you can see Spookly is the sad one in the middle. The storm comes, the gate breaks, and all the pumpkins start rolling out in the bay, and Spookly, being the little square, clogs up the gate and saves the day. So this was a story that they worked on for several weeks with different ideas, and then this was kind of the culminating project. So this was a whole class project that they worked on together in iMotion. And I kind of want to show you how this works in iMotion in a couple of those settings. So we're going to have Janet share again, and we're going to walk you through the iMotion app.
And I love the integration with literacy there, Haley.
It's a fun one. It actually went with math, literacy. It was a full-on project for those second graders.
All right, iMotion is right here.
Yes, ma'am. So when you're working in iMotion, just a couple things to remember. You want your iPad in portrait mode you want it in landscape mode instead of portrait mode. This way you don't have those black boxes on the side and it works better. So we're going to go ahead and hit New Movie. And this is where we were saying you have some options. So time lapse is exactly what it says. You set it on a stand and you choose your intervals. Do you want it to take a picture every 2 minutes? What's the maximum it will go out to? 1 a day. So if you were trying to set up an iPad and maybe get moon phases or something, you could have it setting at the window and take 1 a day. So depending on how often there is movement, you can change the interval. And this is also the only place where you can title it. You don't have to title it, but you can do that there. And I'm actually not going to show you that. No, that's fine. I was going to say, I'm not going to show you the time lapse because you hit start and it just starts working when you're finished. You hit end, save it to the camera roll. That would work probably whole class. If you're wanting to create kind of that stop animation movie, we're going to hit manual and go ahead and hit start. And you're going to see that the camera, of course, opens up. Let's just hit capture. When you hit capture, it takes 1 picture. Now, you have the option to kind of see that gridded onion skin is what I like to call it after she took that picture. So you can see where your picture was. So just think if you're wanting to make a movie where there is very fluid motion, you're going to want a lot of pictures with very little motion. And the kids learn this so quickly. They'll go through taking pictures. And if they want real jerky movements, of course, it's a lot of motion with less pictures. When you hit stop capture, it'll ask you, are you really done? Go ahead and hit stop again. Woo! So you can see how quickly the keyboard, and you can adjust that frames per second at the bottom to slow it down or speed it up. Depending on what you're working on. As soon as you hit export, it does exactly that. So you can export it as the video to your photo library right on your iPad, and then take it and put it into your Seesaw class. So I've seen this one used a lot. I've seen it used to retell stories. I've seen iMotion used to even show the steps in a math problem where the kids are breaking apart numbers and showing each individual step. A lot of literacy stuff, but it could definitely be used across in math, literacy, retelling, basically anything that kids are doing. I like to start whole group. So we might do the first one together just to kind of show them how many pictures you need, because you can take 100 pictures and it might only mean 3 minutes or 30 seconds of video or even less than that. So just kind of do the first one together and then split them off and work in groups. And we have jobs. So as we're sitting around, someone might be the mover and someone else is the capture person taking the pictures. And you can really make it so that everybody has a piece of that movie.
And you mentioned jobs, which made me think about the movie industry and the jobs that you could even talk about that are, potential future occupations for students and all the different things that this would incorporate. So
yeah, so there's a lot you can do with iMotion, and we would love to help you. If you think of anything else, we would love to hear from you. So take a minute and pause the video, think about how you might could incorporate iMotion into your Seesaw, into your classroom, and post it into Seesaw. And Janet's going to talk about our last app of the day. Which is Popplet.
Yes. All right. So Popplet is a fantastic simple graphic organizer. And, you know, as our students are learning to organize their ideas and their thoughts, a lot of this we do on paper. This just gives them another mode of being able to share those ideas and those connections. And so this is just a very basic graphic organizer. When students create it, then when you have it all showing on your screen, like I've done on this blue screen to the right of this page, when you have it all showing there and you just export it as a JPEG, then it saves again in your camera roll on your device, and then they're able to upload it into Seesaw. Now, Popplet Lite is what we actually have in the BCS catalog. It is limited, and so you have one, but after you export it, all you have to do is go back in and you can redo the whole graphic organizer. And so as you can tell on here, this does allow for typing, so students can type ideas or concepts. They can draw in it, and the drawing is very simple. And then they can also add pictures, either that they find on the internet or pictures that they take themselves. And so it's just a great way to be able to, for students to brainstorm, to be able to organize their thinking and to show you how they're thinking, or even to collaborate together, you know, as they're talking about ideas, to show connections, and then even to, you know, where I have dogs in the middle of the picture on the right, if you had an answer that you put there, then students could easily demonstrate different ways to show that answer. So maybe you have 12 there, and in one they put 15 minus 3, and in another they put 2 plus 10, and another they put 6 times 2. So they're able to show a lot of different ways that they can get that same answer, and they're all connected to that center answer that's on there. So very quickly, I'm going to share my screen on my iPad. All right, let's see if we can get this. There it is. So Popplet Lite. And it automatically pulls up whatever I was working on before. So if I want to type right here in this middle box, I simply tap it, and then I am able to begin typing. So I can type an idea here. Okay, so here's an idea. I can drag this around the connectors that are out here. When you tap a connector, it automatically pops another box on there, and within that, I can select drawing, and I can draw within that. I can select picture and either take a photo or add one. So there are different options there, and then I can even, maybe I'm organizing my thoughts and want to make different types of ideas, different colors. So if I were doing that math problem that we mentioned a moment ago, maybe all of our addition is going to be red, and anything that's subtraction is going to be blue, and we can do all of that. We can go up to the top left and clear all if we wanted to start over, but when I have this all completely within the screen and I select export, I am going to save it as a JPEG, and you see immediately it's been successfully saved to the photo library. And so I'm going to go to my photo library just so that you can see what this looks like. And here is the photo library with that picture, and you can tell that this is the one I just did because of the red scribbling in the bottom left. So, you know, it's very simple to do. So then it's saved there, and I can go to Seesaw and easily import this.
So a lot of these steps are the same for a lot of the apps. So hopefully you can take one of these ideas and be able to use it pretty quickly with kids. But a lot of the common threads we saw was pictures. So being able to show kids how they can get an appropriate picture, either take it with their camera or upload it from the web or pull it in from another app, and then they're able to do so much with it. You know, within Seesaw themselves, they can do a lot, but taking an app and smashing it into Seesaw just gives them one more layer of a little bit more creation and hopefully increase some engagement with the kids as well. Go ahead.
I just wanted to throw in one other thing that this makes me think about, and that is digital citizenship. And so as students are using the internet to find other images, first of all, they need to be careful as to where they go. And that's one of the things that we do want students to learn. So they learn how to appropriately and safely search for pictures. But then also we learn about copyright and crediting people for their work or using pictures that are available for them to use. And so those are all great talking points that you can use with students as you are doing several of these apps as well.
We come up with a list when we were looking through the catalog of what other apps are available for our students. And these are just some of the ideas that we came up with. So Pic Collage works well with mashing a lot of pictures into one image or creating kind of like it says, a collage. Clips is on their iPads, which allows video and be able to put some text with some video. You're able to save that as a video file and, of course, smash it into Seesaw as well. We talked about virtual manipulatives or any of those apps where they're using tens frames and bars. They can take that, snap a picture of it, put it into Seesaw, and then possibly annotate on top of it, circle, write, use their voice to explain what they were thinking when they were solving that problem. Same thing with Scratch Junior. If they code or create a scene, they can snap a picture, screenshot what they do, download it as a video. Pearson Realize, same thing. They can take their math that they're working on, the math game, and then record themselves even doing a video of how they solve that work. Books, if you have ever heard of a book snap, Epic is a great place where they can snap a picture or a screenshot from their book that they're reading and annotate, write on it, record themselves reading it in Seesaw and kind of smashing it that way. And the last one I'll let Janet explain because that leads right into our next week's PD.
Sure. Flipgrid is a fantastic tool to get students creating a video and sharing their thinking, sharing their ideas, and sharing their voice. And so next Tuesday at the same time, 3:30, we will have a session on Flipgrid specifically used with young students. So specifically focused on K2, but will also be helpful for 3 through 5.
Yeah. We appreciate you coming to listen in today to hopefully pick and get some ideas about app smashing and getting things into Seesaw. The link to my learning plan will be in the description of the YouTube video that you'll get after taking a little quiz. And hopefully you've picked up something from today that you will be able to use maybe even tomorrow. We appreciate you coming.
Thanks for being here.